Happy morning, folks. Let's go. Are we live? Of course I'm live. Same-ish, different day. People deluded, I'm back again. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's enjoying their start to the week. It's Monday. Now, for me, because of you guys, I can't lie. Mondays is a pleasure, people. So I appreciate you lot for supporting not just me on Twitch. One love to the Twitch gang, but also YouTube. But obviously, it's Monday, innit? So first things first, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's got their health. And I'd love to extend that to your loved ones, of course. Let's attack the week and move that much closer to our goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations. Definitely Arsenal players, if you're listening, can we get a victory on Thursday? Because as we know, the race for the top four is heating up and them thing there. You know, we're going to get over it, but we saw a fantastic result. Credit where it's due. I don't know what, big up THFC Trey. I don't know why. Timing is everything. I was just about to say, credit where it's due. Spurs pulled off a madness. I told you they were going to beat City. I would have loved to have been wrong. United versus Leeds was filled with drama. United grabbed 3 points. West Ham United, obviously in the top four race, bitter pill to swallow. We saw Wolves against Leicester. We saw Liverpool come back from behind and acrobatics from Mane. We saw a madness in the Premier League. I think it was a good week in the Prem. Obviously, we've got a couple of things and bits and pieces to talk about prior. Obviously, I'm sure you will watch the Amir Khan fight versus Kell Brook, but unfortunately, you're seeing images and things circulate in relation to Phil Foden. In short, his mum getting attacked, really. His mum starts it, but no excuse to put your hands on a lady. No excuse to just do what they're doing. It's just unnecessary antics. It's just pussy old movements and things. So we'll go over that. Aubameyang bagged a hat-trick and things like that. So it is what it is. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. On the topic of the mad thing with Phil Foden, I actually forgot to send myself. And first things first, as I said, we can't take life for granted. RIP Jamal Edwards, man, a serious pioneer, man. And to lose your life at 31 years of age, I know it sounds cliche, but we can't take life for granted, people. No matter who we are, no matter how much we earn, no matter who we are in terms of class, we've all got an expiry date and we all got to go 6 feet under one day. Unfortunately, some people have to meet their maker sooner rather than later, but we really have to continue life and try and hit goals and just have no regrets and just be a nice person, because you never know, man. You never know. For me, with Jamal Edwards and just people in general, because you don't have to be doing what Jamal's done, which he's done great things and had a legacy. Give people their flowers before they're gone, man. Like, you never know, man. It's it's upsetting, really and truly. It's upsetting, really and truly. So yeah, man, RIP him each and every time. He did get a hat-trick because Pedri's goals awarded to him, so he's been handed his hat-trick. But yeah, RIP Jamal Edwards. Tarns, more EU, B, Josh, appreciative to all of you lot locked in, man. Ak as well. Again, don't feel any left out anyway. VTC, again, we've got the Bermudans in the building. CFC's finest, man, like DG. Haven't caught you in a sec. Hope you're doing well. Why haven't you? Where you been? What's going on now? I'm playing, man. Appreciate you. I'm sure you're vexed at Lukaku. Obviously, I see Lukaku had about 7 touches and just continues to just frustrate Chelsea fans. Kel, I can't say your name. That's an excellent name, but Kels, shout out to you as well. Happy Monday to everyone, man. P, hey, where's P Mav been? You've been gone for a minute. I see you just subscribed again. Appreciate you. RP Jamal each and every time. It is what it is. 1 second, people. It's not just me. I know I'm a sexy guy, but this room's actually getting mad. The fan has to come on. So it is what it is, man. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Like I said, I can't lie. The room's hot. It's also cold. You can hear the wind. The wind's kept me up all night. All I can hear is quite jarring, really and truly. Buki hat-trick, but we got agendas to run, man. Aubameyang loves playing at the Mestalla and things like that, and he said as much. I'm here for it, man. We've got agendas to run. Unfortunately, let's start with, pardon my language, the fuckery first, man. Let's start with the fuckery, innit? Because my mood always goes. So obviously, as you've all seen or you've all heard, Phil Foden's got into a bit of a madness. Again, people are cowards. They always try it with, I don't know why people just think they can try a thing all the time, really and truly. But yeah, if you ain't seen it, I would say shock warning and whatnot. Here we go. Oh shit, sir. Sorry, folks. Yo. Turn it down a bit. But this is the incident in question. That's not Phil Foden's mum, by the way. I'll just let you lot watch it without necessarily commenting. But yeah, as you can see, Phil Foden and his family, I assume, gone in the room. These guys probably had too much to drink. Pussy old movements are about to begin. That's my Foden's mum. She has put her hands on him, but still, this guy's a pussy because you would not do that to Mandem. You would not do that. You would not do that. You would not activate so quick. To be fair, his mum's a rider, boy. Up here, man. Look, to be fair, his mum's, she's not on no pussy or antics. There's Foden. Foden, that was half-hearted still. I can't lie, man. Just pussy or antics. I can't just leave the man and his family to enjoy the fight and their evening and whatnot. I ain't gonna lie though, folks. You know, it's funny how I haven't seen a headline. Phil Foden out on a night out after Manchester City suffer a defeat. The privilege is crazy, but yeah, you can see the images yourself. This is just pussy or antics from people, man. Just and they'll never try it with someone that's gonna give it back. I shout out to my man because he was moving mad same way. Look, I shouldn't be making him. Eesh, imagine getting licked with the fire extinguisher. Fuck. But yeah, unneeded, unless. Just as like I said, what more can you say? Just pussy your antics from people. Just, you know, the less said about it, the better. Obviously, first things first, I hope Phil Foden and his family are not too shooken up and they're all right. I mean, considering your mum got punched, Foden's kept it composed, boy, because I would have been moving mad. I'm sure everyone would have as well. Forget being a footballer and things. And the thing is, they always try it with people that they know are not going to do anything. You know, why don't you try it with Gabriel or Kolasinac or Fernandinho or someone that's a bit more rough around the edges, really? You know, like I said, the interesting thing is Phil Foden's not been criticised for going out after losing, which you've seen other footballers. But then again, he's allowed to spend his millions to buy a house. Raheem Sterling is human being, pussy old movements, unneeded. As you lot know, his mum, as you saw, was punched in a brawl at the Amir Khan Kell Brook fight. Manchester City say they are shocked and appalled by the video of his mum being punched by a man in a backstage brawl. As you know, we just saw the clip on social media. Appears to show Foden being led into a room after the fight broke out between the men. They abused him and whatnot. Several punches were thrown. Apparently, City said the club is aware of the video which has circulated on social media showing Phil Foden and his family being harassed and abused, which we don't condone and we condemn. Pussy old movements. We are shocked and appalled about the nature of abuse. Long story short, and again, it is what it is, man. And again, you know, obviously, I understand. Do you know what? As a footballer, you probably want to feel like a normal human being, really and truly. You don't always want to move with security and things, but that is the first thought I thought. You know, you don't want to on a best of days. Being a footballer must feel like your life is segregated because obviously you can't really move. So you get opportunity just to be a normal human being and enjoy a night out. I can't begrudge you, but that's the first thing I thought. You know, I didn't understand why maybe his mum's not in a separate area, why they're not in a separate area, how have these two groups kind of come together. And obviously, when you look at, you know, Reece James's house, Gabriel at Arsenal, Mesut Ozil, Gabriel, Kolasinac, Cancelo the other day, you know, Reece James's yard, footballer, you can't put a price on precaution. It does make me think things like that really and truly is crazy, man. Cowardly. And the thing is, the guy that raised fist for his mum, I guarantee if that's a Don that wants to fight him, he's gonna think twice. He's not gonna activate so quick. Dons that are so active to put their hands on women like that, they won't think that quick when it comes to someone else. It's crazy, man. Oh, I mean, to be fair, Phil Foden his mum looks like she'll beat him up. Really, it's like his mum decided to ride out, but still, like it's absolutely brazy. You know, his mum wasn't having any of it, but still, man, like ridiculous. It's just disgusting, man. What can you say, really? Like, what can you say? Shout out to you for subscribing via Amazon Prime as well. So it is what it is where that's concerned. Let's go over some other articles as well. Now we're gonna get into the Premier League and things like that in terms of the games and whatnot. But as you all saw, you know, it was a 6-2 thriller between Manchester United and Leeds United, where United obviously came out on top. It was a bit of poetic justice from Alanga to obviously score and shout out the Leeds fans. But yeah, FA's to make a probe after he was struck with something as well. They've made 9 arrests, and you know, you see these things quite frequently. Again, for footballers, take precaution, I would say. But yeah, man, they're gonna deal with what they're dealing with. pussy old antics, really and truly. We all saw Son and Kane both had good games, and they've equaled Drogba and Lampard's Premier League record as the Spurs striker and City goal drought. And what a performance it was from Harry Kane, really and truly. It was the 36th goal that the two have combined with over Manchester City. We also Ivan Toney trolled by Alexandre Lacazette, which I should have here. Nice kick about with the boys. I mean, that's what Arsenal's been reduced to, beef and Brentford and shit, but it is what it is. Shout out to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He scored a hat-trick. As you know, he scored two very good. Aubameyang finished the first one was also a good run as well that he made off the ball. He was credited with Pedri's goal, so it's nice to see he gets a hat-trick again against Valencia. But scored more goals in one game than Eddie and Nketiah and Laka at this moment in time, really. And we know Aubameyang scores goals. Form is temporary, class is permanent. I want the man to do as well as he potentially can. And yeah, man, his career at Barcelona is off to a good start as he bagged a hat-trick in the 4-1 victory on Sunday against Valencia, people. Again, Aubameyang has now become the first player in the 21st century to score a hat-trick in Liga, Bundesliga, the Premier League, and La Liga. Crazy. He's also become the first player to score 2 hat-tricks in competitive games at the Messiah, as he also netted for us in the Europa League in 2019. So yeah, Aubameyang's gonna cook in that league, man. Xavi said he has scored goals his entire career. He goes very well to space. He's mature. He's intelligent. I'm delighted with him. Those two subsequently changed to 3 will go very well for him, and that will give him some confidence. And obviously, Busquets spoke about him as well. He said having Aubameyang on a free transfer is a gift. Busquets says it, mind out, a certain former Spanish midfielder, also played for Barca, didn't make it there, but might have something to say. He's working really well. He came here needing minutes, but he's getting them. I hope he helps us like this because he's a great player, and having him in the squad on a free is a gift. And obviously, Aubameyang does his thing. He said, the last time I played here, I scored a hat-trick with Arsenal. So you could say that the Messiah is like my home, which is a bit of a cocky one. From a good striker to a shit one, Lukaku he would have been involved in the build-up to what could have been Ziyech's first goal because it was before it was ruled off. And we've been here. I hate to say I told you so, but we said last August, if someone can find my vids, I said Chelsea will look for another striker or this Lukaku thing is not going to end well. I got the premise around signing Lukaku. Chelsea needed goals. Whatever you say about Lukaku and all the things we could say about him, he scores goals. Now, it's the age-old thing in that you have, let's look at Lacazette, 2 strikers that probably aren't doing the business for either team, really. Certain man can score goals like Lukaku typically does, but it's not enough. It's in the modern day, you need to do more. And there's also strikers that, because they might not score, they can overcompensate with other things. But no matter what way you flip it, you need to score goals. And I said it, Lukaku, they'll be in a scenario where they'll want to replace him. He doesn't fit them like a glove. He can score goals, but he's too service reliant. He's too much of a moaner. It's not that he unbalances the team, but he unbalances the team. His link-up play ain't really the best. All the song and dance about being a dramatically better player since his return from Italy. There you have. The man can score goals. The man can score 20 league goals in this competition. For whatever reason or not, it's not happening. And, the very fact that Chelsea were willing to spend 90 million on this guy shows you that maybe that's where they've done poor, but also where we're at in terms of household strikers. There used to be a time where you could say world-class, top-class strikers that can do your job if you want to get top 10, get out the championship, etc. There's a real struggle for goals or quality goal scorers, but to get 7 touches, it shows me you're not putting yourself about enough. And it just feels like Lukaku, the attitude don't match the ability. And I'm very obvious reasons I'm wary of the word attitude. I like his mentality and things, but it just seems like he's always moaning and he's always carrying on. And by all means, you can do that when you're actually 30. You're not worth the hassle. But the striker was anonymous at Selhurst Park. That's a difficult ground to go to be brutally honest with you. So yeah, he failed once again to impress. He had just 2 touches of the ball in the first half against Crystal Palace. One of those being the first pass from kickoff. That is anonymous. I'm not one of these guys. I know in the Prem you get praised for just running about, but I mean, come on now. Come on now. He must have just one more touch before the people. He made just contact on 7 occasions, people. One which was again kickoff. He has had the fewest touches of a Premier League player in a match since records started being recorded, really. Pardon me. As you can see here, Lukaku had just 7 touches against Crystal Palace, the fewest in a Premier League single Premier League game for a player with 90 plus minutes played since data was available. Crazy people, and it's not really worked out the fairy tale. We know there's been off-field antics. There's been a lot. When asked, Tuchel said, "I'm not sure if I have a good answer. I don't know what it says. It says he was obviously not involved and could not make a point today. I'm not sure if it says so much about us in general." So I think Tuchel's tried everything. He's tried to gas Lukaku. He's tried the stern warning thing. He's done a lot in it. But, boy, and you know what? Lukaku could pick up form. Lukaku has got goals, but it just seems like more headache. And Lukaku is in, not that he's misbehaving and everything, but there's more off-field antics than just Lukaku scoring goals, really. I know there's been injuries and whatnot, but nonetheless, good news for Chelsea. Reece James is expected to make his long-awaited Chelsea return this week. Also, on the topic of Chelsea, tomorrow on Twitch is Chelsea versus Lille. We'll be doing that here. Wednesday will probably be a YouTube one, and Thursday again Arsenal are playing, so we can't watch Napoli versus Barcelona in the return leg. What else have we got here? Jorginho, I spoke about this yesterday, but he said he has dreams of playing for Pep Guardiola. We all know he was destined to join Man City once upon a time, but for those who weren't here when we spoke about it, I wasn't supposed to come to Chelsea. I was supposed to have arrived at another club, another English club. Then it happened as it happened, and I arrived at Chelsea. So with Chelsea, everything happened very fast. When I saw their offer, I was already in London. I said, let's go. Have I ever dreamed of playing under Pep Guardiola? I have. I don't know if it will happen, but yes, he's a reference. When I was a kid, I watched his Barca win everything with Ronaldinho, Xavi, and Iniesta. You sure? Well, let's see what's going on there. But fair enough. That's him. I don't know if you'll get that move to City. This is not what I was going to show you, anyways, people. But it was nice to see Kieran Gibbs. He's talking about how he's converting half his salary into Bitcoin, and it was quite an interesting one. He kind of spoke about, look here, people. This wasn't meant to be shown. I was reading this for myself, but he spoke about mainly it's an investment because due to inflation, you can lose peas, really, which you can still lose peas in Bitcoin and that, but it makes sense. Good news for Jack Wilshere, obviously. I mean, when I saw you come on the scene at 16 years of age, it shows how life can be very cruel. On one hand, you haven't been the player you was meant to be, but I do think people in general fail to realize, you still had a decent career. You've played for your country, first things first. You've played at your country at tournaments. You've played for both your boyhood clubs in West Ham and Arsenal, and you've won a trophy. Do I think that's enough? Do I think Jack Wilshere will be filled with regrets? Did I think he was meant to do a lot more? Yes, but we've got to remember, these are small victories. Just making it as a footballer is a blessing. But he's finally got a move. So again, it's not, we can make fun of the fact that he's gone to Denmark and all of these things. But I'm happy to see, first and foremost, now I don't need to keep seeing the same, as much as I love you, the same interviews about Arsenal's my home and all of this is played out now. We've watched it in it. Come on now, we've seen the first one. So I'm happy to see you're able to play. Apparently, Roy Hodgson put in a favor. Do your thing. Apparently, he's not even going to be the highest paid player. So it's happy to see someone's take a chance. Happy to see you're able to go somewhere you can do a thing. So yeah, have a good career, man. Go and do your thing. I didn't expect to see you playing in Denmark, but it is what it is. He's only getting 5K a week, which is very humble. It's taken him 9 months, but he's did it. And I know he wanted a club in January. Did it in February, but why not? Jack Wilshere has joined Danish club Aarhus on a deal until the end of the season, and apparently there's an option of another one, but will reportedly not be his side's highest earner. And I mean, you wouldn't. Jack Wilshere's not worth doing all of that, really. Nice picture of him and Elise here, people. And there was a nice little video here, which again shows everything. I hope there's no copyright claim on this, because that would be some BS. Oh yes, we love this finish. I hope you can do it all there, mate. Well done, Wilshere. Well in, Jackie boy. Apparently he'll wear the number 10 shirt. He said, I'm at a point in my career where I need to get started off again after a difficult period. As much as I love Jack Wilshere, it's the same old shit, really. Again, like I said, I've heard this story. It's a whole injured. I need to build up fitness again. Seen it at West Ham, seen it at Bournemouth, seen it at Arsenal. Then there's a page he comes out and says I was falling out of love with the club, or I didn't really think I'd get football. I'm not trying to be disingenuous. I'm just saying I'm happy that we moved on from this, because it's hard to keep having the same emotion when you keep saying things. I mean, he said, I'm very grateful for the opportunity AGF has offered me, and I'll do everything I can to help the team move forward. I'm looking very much looking forward to contributing to the team. Do your thing, man. Apparently Jack Wilshere is in good shape but lacks some match fitness. Obviously it will probably come, and we look forward to seeing him in a white jersey. According to the Scum, he will earn 5k a week before bonuses at his new home. Their top earner is set to be on 6.7k a week mainly. So yeah, man, hopefully the 30-year-old, he could do his thing, man, and hopefully you might not be fully match fitness, but you're able to do a thing. What has he said here? I was in denial. I did a TV interview in August and was asked about getting a club. I said, yeah, hopefully something will come up in the next week or two. It just went on and on. I had depressive, negative thoughts, which is why I'm happy that he's kicking ball again. I would lie in bed until midday, not even sleeping, just arguing with myself. What am I training for? Who am I doing this for? I was lost, which is now where it gets hard to hear people. I always said when I went back to Arsenal that I would make a decision about my next step at the end of January. When you've been out the game, you never know which way it will go. But it's convinced me that my playing career isn't over. The manager is top class. I still wouldn't be training with the first team if I was bringing the standard down or couldn't keep up. I can still beat a man. These are top players. That's a sign for me that I can still do it and wanted to keep doing it. So, yeah, man, crack on. Do what you're doing, Jack Wilshere, man. Shout out to you. We've already spoken about that. Jose Mourinho allegedly was sent off, people. And, Jose Mourinho, pardon my language, was in top shithousery mood because I think this referee's dad or something got bagged for match fixing in Italy. And he reminded him of such people as well as doing the phone. As you can see here, he pointed at his head and appeared to make a telephone gesture towards Piretto, which is the individual in question. Jose then picked up a ball and kicked it away in frustration, which led to Jose being shown a red card. And as you can see, he's made the telephone gesture, people, which is crazy. There's been some suggestion on social media that Jose Mourinho's telephone gesture was in reference to Calciopoli which was the 06 Italian match fixing scandal, where you can see it here. Hopefully there's no copyright BS. So yeah, you see it there, people. Big up Jose Mourinho. As you know, this man's father, who he said that he was saying that held the position of the Italian vice chairman of UEFA's referee committee at the time of the scandal and was given a 42-month ban from football and a 16-month prison sentence, but he was later acquitted. The case came to light after thousands of hours of phone calls were unearthed via wiretapped phone calls. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Shout out to Jose Mourinho and his shithousery. I can't lie, before we get into the Premier League review and whatnot, people, this was quite interesting, I felt, because Ralph Rangnick admits he does not know what technical director Darren Fletcher's role is at Man United, which that's not going to pee off the fans, in it, people. But he said it's good to have him. If you don't know what the role is, how do the players? And how do anyone else? Now, you don't always have to know everybody's role in an organization, but Ralph Rangnick doesn't mix his words. Either he's brutally honest half the time, where he's saying Martial didn't text me, Lingard this, that, and the other, or he's just not reading the room. But he's admitted he's not sure what Darren Fletcher's role at Old Trafford is, but praised him for having a positive impact on the team. Let's scroll the way down. I can only talk about what I've experienced in the last 11 or 12 weeks. He has always been part of almost every training session in each game. Whenever I've had a question about what he thinks, because he obviously knows the players, he has known them for a long time, I could always and will always ask for his opinion. So it's good to have him in the team, which is fair play. Scroll all the way down. What his role is within the club, I don't really know, to be honest. I can only tell you what is happening in the training sessions, around the training sessions and around the games. In those areas, it's good to have him on board. Which, all right, like artificial positions, as Arsene Wenger used to say. But you lot do you, innit? Like, you lot do what makes you lot happy. So yeah, that's the first bit of this live stream, really. In fact, that's 29. Better yet. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. As I said, shout out to you lot. Once again, I don't know why it's taking me up to the top. RIP Jamal Edwards once again. Buki hat-trick, but we'll take those. What else have we said? Someone nearly got their head deformed by the extinguisher, and they need it, man. Hopefully it knocks some sense into them, really. Spurs, so weird, completely outplayed by Wolves in Southampton, turn up for City. I mean, but to be honest with you, I could say the way Spurs play makes it kind of easier for them to beat City, because obviously the smaller teams, again, Burnley could be different, respectfully to Wolves, because they were on the front foot. These teams are low blocks. They can't break them down. Spurs have not got the personnel to really break down teams. When you're a City and you're trying to be on the front foot and you're leaving a lot of gaps and you're playing a high line, this is where Spurs come into it. Credit where due, Spurs played a blinder. At time, obviously, there was elements of the whole game where they're just defending. It looks like City will breach their walls and score a couple, but it wasn't that, and that's no criticism. That's it. I feel Pep Guardiola showed an arrogance, almost a culture shock. It's like he couldn't believe that, okay, I'm playing a high line. I'm telling my fullbacks to fly forward. Spurs are capitalizing on that space, but I'm not going to do anything about it. It's like that's the one time in 10 years he's been asked. I'm not going to lie. I think it was another game for City where you're like, maybe if you just had a normal number 9, something would have saved you. There was a lot of pressure where Spurs were in their own half, resolute defending and, things like that. But I think the game plan, Spurs are going to do stuff like that versus when you play smaller teams because there's a lot of space. I think they counter-attacked well. Kane had a very good performance. I don't agree with some of these Spurs journalists saying it's one of the best Premier League performances ever. What's going on there? But fantastic performance. And what a time to break your duck against City. Kulusevski goal and assist. I think Bentancur sometimes overplayed at times, but Spurs have needed a player that can just relieve pressure. I think Sessegnon did all right as well. Man to a man, all the Spurs did all right. I know Hugo Lloris bugging out for one of the goals, much like he bugged out at Wolves, but I think they did all right. Obviously, I don't understand how the Romero penalty is given and the one in the Arsenal-Brentford game isn't. 2 different games, 2 different teams, 4 different teams involved. But, boy, I don't know what's going on there personally. But it is what it is, really and truly. You could see Spurs were going to score. I told you that they're going to win. And I said Spurs would score because City were just at 6s and 7s defensively. Walker's bugging out. Cancelo's bugging out. There's too much gaps between the centre mids. Kevin De Bruyne's getting into the groove, but he's doing the spam crosses. Spurs were built for it. I can't lie. You've got to give Spurs credit. That's a fan. Not just beyond the obvious. They've beaten Manchester City, but that's a fantastic result. And are City gonna bottle the league? Is it blown over? Because it looks like it was a Farmers League at a sec. All of a sudden, Liverpool are 6 points behind. They win. Things can happen, really and truly. And, if I was Arteta, I'd be going quite mad, as I said, again, it seems like City always lie down for Spurs, Arteta and Pep didn't even want to let you get the clout. He couldn't let you get the 6 points off them, man. Crazy. Spurs are going to, that's Spurs' highlight. We did the double over City. Son and Kane have overtaken Lampard and Drogba. Not really going to see silverware. I've got to do that, people. Now, obviously, the only ones not really happy this week is West Ham. Well, I'm unhappy to see other teams lose, of course. But it's West Ham because they've dropped 2 points. They've seen everybody advance. Things can change. Spurs got a difficult game against Burnley midweek. I think they'll win, but some of their fans are shook. I'm shook of Wolves. I'll be real with you. I don't think Wolves had the best of games against Leicester per se, but Pedent's a baller. But I'm shook for that. Don't know who West Ham have. And obviously, I think United are playing Atletico. So their Premier League campaign is taking a slight pause. But yeah, it is what it is. Southampton going from strength to strength. In case I forget, shout out to Tino Livramento and also Kyle Walker-Peters. They played very well. Everton are firmly in a relegation race. Lampard is right. I don't like Everton just look at shambles. They don't even get the new managerial bounce, really. So the Premier League is a brazy one. Man said Lukaku. Spurs, that Kane team, they live or die by him. To be fair, though, man to a man, Romero was good. I can't just praise Kane. I know Kane's going to get the glory and the highlights show it, but man to a man, they played well. They weathered the storm. They won their individual battles. They had some confidence. Like, I actually think Højbjerg was good. He normally gets a lot of hate. I don't think much of him. He got nutmegged in that, but he was doing the dark arts thing for that. Is that all on Lukaku, though? The system he's playing in 2 touches in one half is insane. It's both. The system, you could tell, as I've just been alluding to, the system and Lukaku is an odd match. So you could tailor to the team. But then again, would you rather the risk at the detriment of tailoring to Lukaku, which has a lot more than pros, or would you rather have a system that works and you could say, okay, this striker out and next one in? I just think Chelsea have a lot of frustrating players, and Lukaku's one of them. Obviously, the system could change because Lukaku lepers don't change their spots. You know what Lukaku's on. He's a service-reliant striker, and if he's had 7 touches and 2 in one half, you're right, he's not being given much. But at the same time, if you're a striker, it just seems Lukaku just looks for blame games. It just seems like he rarely puts himself around and just tries to make things happen. It's always like he's moaning and blaming. And to be fair with you, if I was Lukaku's teammate, I'd be pissed off a lot with him, really, because you're too shit for this Gucci attitude, if I'm respectfully with you. And for Tuchel, there's just a bag of frustrating players there. Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, you shout to him because he's been doing his thing now. But generally, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, Werner, Lukaku, Havertz, there's very players that a lot of them frustrate. Lukaku thinking he can get away through the defensive union. I actually thought he improved a little bit. Plus, I thought Chelsea just needed a goal scorer. They did, but I don't know what's going on with him. I would take Wilshere over McTominay. McTominay, the last 2 games I've seen from him, how he never got sent off in the last game, I don't know, but he's just not good, man. Just not good. The man said Ralph's asking the papers if they know what Darren Fletcher does and why he's there. Jose's still funny, such a wind up. Oh, you've got to love Jose, man. Couple Darren Fletchers in my office. We're going to win the league. There's something in the air. Liverpool smell blood. Liverpool love being the underdogs. I mean, I got love for Liverpool as a club or what you let extend, but you lot can be some cringy bastards at time, right? Fucking hell, man. Please allow me. There's no underdogs. You lot and City are fighting and whatnot. I know in comparison to City, you're underdogs, but you lot love the Mighty Ducks thing. Nobody smells the air of Liverpool. It's almost like some weird little cult, man. Like I'm seeing weird little songs about Jota and stuff, but Liverpool should be eyeing it up. Klopp's got Pep knows there's a target on his back, and that's why Pep probably hasn't been getting ahead of himself. Klopp, you're right, though. Klopp is relishing it, but again, the narratives can change. Liverpool, are they going to win every game from now to the end of the season? Is City? I don't know. There's got to be a draw, or at least a minimum for one of them. So we're going to see what's going to happen, really. And, obviously, both teams are still in everything. So it's interesting. I mean, I'd rather City win the trophy than Liverpool because I don't know no City fans. I'll be honest with you. I know Liverpool and United and Spurs. Well, not that they ever Spurs know about winning leagues, but I know these fans. I don't know no City fans. So for me, City seems like the best thing for at this moment in time, man. Really, really and truly for them to do stuff, man. Ralph is hilarious, straight to the point, doesn't mix words. He's moving upstairs, man. But yeah, the title race is blown wide open now because of that, really. Premier League doing their best to show us this is not quite a farmers league. Scrolling all the way down, let's look at the results this weekend, people. Now, I can't lie, every game had entertainment and there was some shockers, really. I would say, do you know what? The most shocking result of mine, I wouldn't say Spurs winning for me because Spurs are just bookie against City. I would say really Burnley defeating Brighton 3-0. I didn't see that one there coming. Burnley, 3 goals. That's a big 3 points as well. West Ham and Newcastle drew 1-1. Shout out to agent Joe Willock for scoring them Sunday League-esque goals. Arsenal won 2-1 against Brentford. Watford defeated Villa 0-0. As I just said, Burnley won 3-0 against Brighton. Crystal Palace lost 0-0 against Chelsea. I do think they put them. Palace tried, but Chelsea just got over the line, really. Liverpool came back from behind to defeat Norwich 3-1. What a ball that was from Alisson for Salah. Mane, acrobatics. Diaz, I don't think that's his first goal for Liverpool. I don't know. It probably is his first goal in the league or his first goal in the league at Anfield. Southampton defeated Everton 2-0. More pressure on Everton to stay in the league. And like I said, Manchester City lost 3-2 against Spurs. Could have been more if it wasn't for VAR and all of those sort of things. The West Ham game, I'm just happy they dropped 2 points. It was very sluggish and whatnot. Shout out to Newcastle because they're putting some points on the board. I'm not looking forward to going to St. James's Park at this pivotal time in the season. Arsenal defeated Brentford. Ivan Toney, nice little kick about. I know Ivan Toney was absent, but shut it, mate. We got over the line. Very unhappy we didn't keep a clean sheet because I feel while we've improved a lot defensively, I don't think we're a good defensive side. Right now, we're one of the best in the league. Can't deny with the table of defending. We've definitely improved our outlook on defending, but we've still got these brain farts. And for me, it comes down to game management. Like looking at the Brentford game, obviously, if you never watched that, 2-1's a close scoreline, and we didn't really do enough to score more. But I would say, to go back to City and Liverpool, and we're not them, but to use them as a guide point, even you could throw Chelsea into it, could do this. The first 5, 10, 20 minutes, that Arsenal-Brentford game could have been killed. Now, if that's Liverpool, them and they'll get going a few goals up. So I think that first 10, 15, 20 minutes, we could have killed that game off quickly. I'm just saying that's an improvement and game management for me because it did look like we was playing good football, we was cutting them open, fans were making noise, players were doing well. It's not that you shouldn't enjoy it, but it's like it's not that our standards drop, but it's like we go off the gears a bit and we start to slack, and then you see goals like we conceded there, like Cedric probably ruined his good performance and whatnot, making it closer than it needs to be. It's good that we scored. I don't like to do the ifs and buts. we won, so no one really cares. But if we didn't, we might be looking at Lacazette's finishing a bit dodgy. We might be a bit harsher, if not that we're not on the referees' decisions with these penalties. We might be a bit not giving the pens. We might be a bit harsher, obviously, on the goal we've conceded. Now, on the topic of pens, I know Arsenal fans, we are hard done by, and we are the boys who cried wolves at this moment. I can understand why the Pepe one couldn't be given. Lacazette's definitely had a couple. For me, the handball. As I said, I think the handball thing in football is a shag, especially as a defender. There's no point defending. I think there needs to be a degree of common sense. If I'm trying to block a shot and I'm, obviously my body's going to go a certain sort of way and it's booted at my hand, there's not much I could do. I don't see how the Romero one's given in the City game and how Visa's one's not. Do I feel it's harsh? But you can't say Romero's hands are not in a natural position and then say Visa's one's not. It's blatant discrimination against Arsenal. Like I said, I do think Arsenal fans reach a bit and cry a bit with some. How that one isn't given, I don't know. I'm happy that we don't need to talk about it because I feel regardless, we could have done enough to kill the game, but I don't get it. Smith Rowe and Saka go from strength to strength. Saka still needs to get them shooting boots on, but Smith Rowe and Saka did well. Pepe off the bench, good link-up play of Odegaard. Odegaard, my man of the match, completely ran the show. Cedric let himself down at the end, but he's had 2 decent games on the spin. I don't believe in him. I feel we need to get a better right back, but at this moment in time, anyone, whether you're playing one or any of the 15 games left, do you take your chances? So you've done that, and we need 3 points respectively to Brentford. Unlike when we played Everton, we needed to win this because your form is bad. I don't want it to turn around against us. That's one thing we need to do. I don't think you can look at the table and say we're going to win this, we're going to win that. But in comparison to the Arsenal games to come, like what we got Wolves in midweek this week, and I think Liverpool after that, I could be wrong. It just gets better and better, doesn't it? A team that hasn't won in the last 6 or 7 games, this is where you need to grab 3 points. And I'm happy that we done that, really. We completely shut them up. I'm just very disappointed about the lack of the clean sheet, really, because we've got to want that clean sheet just as much as when we might be happy about other elements. But fundamentally, we got the job done, which is what it is. Now, when I look at Villa's last results away from the narrative around them, I'm not necessarily shocked that they lost 1-0 to Watford. Shout out to Dennis doing it for my FPL team. Big 3 points for them, especially as they saw Newcastle drop points and also Burnley win as well. It's going to be an interesting race. I think that's one thing that will probably help Everton and Leeds and teams that are not doing well, Brentford as well. I just think that the names I just said, there's 3 worst teams. I think Newcastle are getting out of it. I hope they do. I think Watford are gone. I can't lie. I hope Burnley are gone. So that probably leaves the next space, really and truly. I hope Newcastle get out of it, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see Aston Villa lost a goal to 0 to Watford. 2 grounds, we got 2 places we got to play. We got to go to Vicarage Road where they're fighting relegation. And despite the fact of Villa not getting 3 points, I'm still scared to go there, really and truly. Crystal Palace lost a goal to 0 against Chelsea, as I've said. Fantastic turnaround from Liverpool against Norwich. What an assist that was from Alisson. Sly greedy from Salah, but he scored. Almost comedic acrobatics from Mane. The goal they conceded was a bit mad as well. But all the goals, there was just some mad things going on. Southampton ran right against Everton. And as I said, you've got to give Spurs credit. The way they capitalized on the high line, the spaces, the way rid their luck at times, defended well. No coincidence, Dyer's back and they get a 3 points and whatnot. They've missed him. My biggest fear is, obviously, I hope the narrative is different. I hope Spurs lose to Burnley and they calm it down. But, we got to remember they had 2 shocking performances against Southampton and Wolves. And this game will probably gloss over it. But this could be something that galvanizes them. What if Kane finds his form again? Son remembers who he is. Other players start standing up to be counted. I just said Kulusevski, and Bentancur did well. Romero's had a tough time with injury. Spurs had a lot of shit, man. He's a very good centre half, really. So this could be what galvanizes them. Obviously, Manchester United got over the line as well yesterday. That was a brazy game in itself, really. 6-goal thriller. It was mad. United showed the good, bad, and the ugly. Fundamentally, the biggest point is United fans, and everyone knows, Arsenal, United, Spurs, there's a lot of problems. I'm talking about the top 4 fighting teams. There's a lot of problems. I would say across the 90 minutes, both teams would have liked to have done a lot more. But at this point in the season, you just got to walk away with the 3 points. By the way, I'm live at 11:30 as well. Make sure you've hit the like button on that one, people. As I'm saying, you've just got to get over the line. United... There's it's Pogba's a quality player to watch. His midfield colleague in McTominay, I can't say the same. Ronaldo was a bit of a tough watch, I think, yesterday. He's taken a million years to do certain things, and him dropping deep's a pain. Super subs Fred and Alanga. I don't know if Alanga's going to have a long-term future at United, but he's taking his chances. Leeds play too much emotional football. They like Leicester. They play emotional football. They can cut you open. They can score goals. They can fight, but they're extremely naive. And one has to wonder if they don't change this time next season, you might be in a relegation fight if you don't pattern. They did well to get back in the game. Rodrigo had a shit game, scored he will tell you he meant it. I don't know if that's a cross or he's going for goal, but I would say I meant it if I was him on the shameless one. Rafinha's got them back in the game. Blink and you miss it when they grabbed those two, really. And then United did what they needed to do, really and truly. It was a crazy game. It was wet. It looked horrible to be playing in. Both teams probably not happy with their performances, but it was an entertaining one for the fans. Like I said, Pogba was a joke to watch. Fred and Alanga super subs. It is what it is. I think Luke Shaw's strong. I think Lindelof, you got to, shout out Harry Maguire for scoring. That was a mess knee slide. Lindelof in the build-up play to the second goal, I think, for Manchester United. Shout out to Jadon Sancho. We have a bit of banter, but it's lovely to see he's finding his feet now. As I keep saying, I've not been a fan of obviously banter is banter, agendas are agendas, it's humor. But I'm not a fan of the conclusions that have been written on a man in just 6 months. So it's nice to see he's finding his feet, he's doing his thing and whatnot. Wolves defeated Leicester 2-1. Like I said, Leeds play emotional football. So do Leicester. Like, it's just extremely naive. Telemans versus Nevers watch. I think Telemans can do spectacular things, but across the course of 90 minutes, I'm not necessarily impressed. I would say Ruben Neves, despite scoring, and a good guy it was, he will do less spectacular things, but I see him more over 90 minutes, so he's more my sort of player. Telemans lost the ball a lot. He played a couple of good passes, but he lost the ball a lot, in my opinion, involved in the goal. Too passive. The quality just weren't there from all of Leicester, and Leicester in trouble. I just think they're at the end of a cycle. I think you either have to give Brendan Rodgers some money to reinvest and fix up that defense, because I know they've had Fofana injured, but I just feel they missed Johnny Evans, Huth, Wes Morgan, people that were pillars of their defense. They've not been helped with injuries. It just feels like there's an end of a cycle over there at Leicester, if I'm completely honest with you. So yeah, man, 2 points dropped for 2 points dropped for Leicester. You've got 3 points dropped there. Yeah, Wolves gained 3 points, and then we've got them in the weekend. I mean, in the week, sorry, and that's going to be interesting after their weekend victory. And again, Pedence, lovely. They got Pedro Neto back, and maybe if he wasn't greedy, they would have scored. Daka was anonymous. I feel he put himself around, but I felt sorry for him. I think Luke Thomas did well. I think Drewsbury Hall did well, even though Drewsbury Hall's not really the most pleasing on the eye, really, but nonetheless, that's the Premier League, man. And like I said, every game there's a madness. There was no scoreless draws. We saw plenty of goals. Really, Arsenal won. Joe Willock got a goal. Live to fight another day. Really and truly, just unfortunately that no one else apart from West Ham dropped points in the top 4 race. So it is what it is, man. And it just feels like the Premier League race is wide open, very wide open now. I say wide open. I'm forcing it because we're just forcing it, but at the same time, you can't argue with it, people. You know what? Liverpool, with a game in hand, are 6 points off, and Liverpool's form, they've won their last 5. City have a draw and a loss sandwiched in between 3 victories, and City have Everton next. Everton, if you can't buy a win, I wouldn't want to play City, but you never know, it could happen. For Liverpool, they've got Leeds. I expect them to win, but Leeds are a crazy team filled with emotion, really and truly. In fact, let me actually see Liverpool's next 5 games in the league, obviously, because we know they've got the League Cup and all these things. Well, the League Cup's on the weekend. Definitely doing a watch along for that. Boy, Ajax, do you know what? I think it's wide open. One thing, because I think Klopp is... I don't know. I just think Klopp's bookie. When it comes to galvanizing, I just feel City still have a target on their back. And I think Klopp's been good at relishing that. I think Diaz is giving them a boost. I think Salah looks hungry again after the AFCON disappointment. People are, Mane, man, have been talking about you're the one to make way. He looks like he's on this thing. And there's many others. Van Dijk getting back to his best. Trent needs no introduction. When Alisson's, Edison is looking fraudy as well. If we're real, Edison even looked, the whole back 5, the whole team with City looked rubbed, but the whole back 5 did. Alisson is looking wavy, really and truly. Edison's looking a bit shaky. And you look at the next 5 games in the league, I know they've got the cup final and it's going to be a big test. They've got sandwiched in between these 5 games. They've got the cup final and they've got the 5th round against Norwich, where probably rotation's a thing. They've got next, they've got Leeds on Wednesday. Wow. Oh yeah, Premier League and champs. They've got Leeds on Wednesday. Then they have West Ham. then they've got Brighton away, then they've got Arsenal midweek, then they've got United. So, I mean, if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd fancy all these teams. Of course, they're not the easiest sets of runs. You know, Brighton away is tricky. Liverpool versus West Ham, again, the reverse fixture was booky. Even though I think at Anfield, West Ham will get battered. You've also got to remember the fact that Liverpool are in other cups, and like I said, FA Cup second leg of the Inter tie and the League Cup final are all factors. Arsenal versus Liverpool, well, boy, we'll give you a game for 20 minutes, innit? You owe us a victory, man. Hopefully Van Dijk and Alisson can do some dodgy football like they've been done. You lot are getting top 4 already, man. Just give us them 3 points quickly. Liverpool against United. I'm sure United, not that they want to do City a favor, because you know between Liverpool and City, you'd have to ask United fans which club they'd want to win the league, because it is what it is, isn't it? It's like two of your favorite enemies. It's like two of your enemies really just doing it. It's like pick your poison. It's like saying, who would I rather win the league between Chelsea and Spurs? In the grand scheme of things, I'd probably pick Chelsea, you know, but you'd rather they both lose, innit? But I'm sure just the fact of beating them over 90 minutes would be something. And the last time them two teams faced each other, we all know what happened. United got slaughtered. Watford. Do you know what? Not in Liverpool. Liverpool are a bookie side, man. Liverpool could probably beat West Ham, beat Brighton, beat Arsenal, beat United, and then against Watford do something bookie. But it makes it an interesting count, because it looks like for once we've got a decent relegation race. We've got a forced, but we've got a little good battle for top 4 to top 6, and we might have a Premier League title race back on, you know. And it's an interesting one. March is very interesting for this people, what we're talking about, where Liverpool are concerned, because you know, if they claw their way back in, like I said, they got Brighton away, Arsenal at home, they're playing United, they've got Watford, and then April the 9th against City away, that could be it. So it's going to be a very interesting, very, very interesting one, really. And where's Man City's games? Man City's games. And then for City, boy, City have less games. Am I bugging out, or does City have less games here? I'm probably bugging out, but nonetheless, you know, and boy, it's all in United's hands. I'm sure United want to beat both of them. It's to be a big 6 points for United. To be fair, even United could do something booky against City, but nonetheless, City they've got the FA Cup, but they've got Everton away, United at home, and Liverpool. So probably a more favourable run of fixtures, I would say, looking at Cities, but you never know. The Premier League is a brazy one. You never know what could happen. So the title race is probably open, but yeah, it is what it is, man. Really crazy one. Be interesting to see exactly what happens. Really, you know, I'm happy that Arsenal are not. Well, I'm not happy Arsenal are not involved, but it is what it is. The title race does look fairly wide open once again. They're not underdogs. No, I have to, big yard, man. I know you're not, but it's when you lot do all that Anfield roar and all of that, we get it. Anfield's a scary place. You're a big team, but allow it, man. Some of you are big men, you know. Like it's crazy, man. Hey, Thiago's a baller. I'm not even shocked by Thiago. Like Thiago doing Thiago things, absolute baller, man. Like he's a cultured midfielder. He's never gonna get hail-ups like that because he don't get goals and assists, but he's crazy, man. I didn't know any City fans until like a couple years ago. In reality, my cousins in JA is starting to become that. It's getting jarring, man. I cannot say his name, but Weghorst's slightly balling. I mean, you know, Burnley are bringing the foreigners in and they're doing well, man. You know, Sean Dyche realizes Sean Dyche is making me want to like Burnley now, isn't it? It's going from Brexit ball to there's a Cornet there. There's other people, you know. Lennon was the first, you know, get a little IC 2.5 in and it's getting better and better. It was Daz's first goal. How's this guy rated so highly? I rate Declan Rice highly. I just don't feel them 100 million shouts and all those things were moving crazy. He had an off game against Newcastle. I'm not going to cap. He had an off day. You know, that was my thing about Arsenal versus Brentford, because it's a windy day. We know first and second balls are going to be vital. When you look at the goal that ultimately Joe Willock scored, Declan Rice has misjudged the flight of it, you know, completely. And it's a terrible header, really. But I rate Declan Rice highly. I think he's better on the ball than gives him credit for. It's just, I'd say West Ham rate him way too highly, respectfully, 100 million. And to be honest, West Ham are fully right to do that. I do like how, you know, back in the days, you know, United, bigger teams, they'll just take these players. Like, so now if you want them, you have to pay 80 million for Maguire. If you want, it's down to your discretion. You know, West Ham want to keep him. Maybe Declan Rice will force the issue, say, no, I want to go and do this and do that and do the third. But if you want it, you're going to have to pay. We all know the English tax is crazy. Well, Eddie Howe's doing bits, man. Fantastic results for them, really and truly. You know, since Joe Linton's gone midfield, you know, I've been saying I want Newcastle to stay up, man. And it looks like they're hitting form at the right time. You know, you look at their last couple of games. Yeah, they got battered against Man City, but they got a good point against United. Frustrating draw against Watford. They beat Leeds. You know, they beat Everton. They got a point against. They got 3 points. Sorry, against Aston Villa. They drew against West Ham. This is going all the way back. So yeah, they're on a little bit decent run of form now for Newcastle. Obviously, they got Brentford away, Brighton. Everyone seems to have Brighton. And to be fair with you, there's a 3-game period from April to March where it could all count for something with Newcastle. And this is why I'm scared of scared of Newcastle, because they're going to be fighting for their lives. You know, the 3rd of April, they play Norwich. Then they play Liverpool, City, and then us in the second to last game. I don't want to go to St. James's Park on the best of days, but these teams are booky. Newcastle are going to be a better team than we last played them, and they're going to want to relish it. And Joe Willock's going to be on stuff. That's why I'm so keen to, when we've got games like Brentford, respectfully, take advantage and win these games, man. Don't you think Telemans in a better team would do? But Telemans is wavy. I'm just saying, for Telemans by himself, I think to go to the next level, Telemans needs to be a lot more demanding of himself. He's a bit too passive. He's a bit too nonchalant. His decision making isn't the best. I feel, you know, at times he can be a liability in midfield for all he's got, all as great as he is. I just feel he's at that age now where the penny's got to drop for him. You know, he kind of stunk up the place. Jaden they didn't want to let a man settle for 6 months. He didn't even get 6 months. You know the Premier League's crazy. I'm hearing Gerrard could win the league for Liverpool. Boy, the more it's tight up top, the more man will slip up in cup games, and I'm here for it. Boy, Arsenal aren't in any cups, man. I don't even care anymore, really. I don't even give a crap, really and truly. And to be fair, Newcastle have shown on top of how good Eddie Howe's been, and clearly they've arrested certain things that were going on. It shows what a January can do if you sign certain players. You know, Dan Burns hitting the ground running. I won't say Chris Wood's doing anything. You know, his highlight is apparently he was meowing at Kurt Zuma, and Mark Noble snitched to the ref about that. But there's a rattling thing there. Target's done well in going in. Not set have done amazing. You know, Trippier's probably been the best signing on top of being a good fullback. Obviously, he's injured now, but was a good talisman and captain and things like that. It shows what a January can do. Obviously, Bruno Guimaraes seems to be the one that they're easing into it. Maybe it's a cultural thing. Maybe he's got concerns about him in training. Maybe he's got to earn his spot. Maybe he's waiting for him to adjust to the life in the Premier League and the relegation scrap and all these things and whatnot. It is what it is. Yeah, he will be. So that's good for him. You know, Dan Ashworth, I think that got confirmed. He's on gardening leave, really and truly. And when you look at some other news in just relation to football, apparently Spurs will wait on Kane to initiate contract talks. Manchester United start manager process. Hodgson behind the Wilshere move. Apparently, scrolling all the way down in relation to Harry Kane, I'm just reading the Athletic article. Apparently, during City's pursuit, Tottenham offered Kane a lucrative contract extension, but the proposal was rejected, and his current agreement will have 2 years remaining at the end of this campaign. Bearing in mind he's 28. Kane wants to assess the club's progress and outlook prior to deciding on his future. So maybe if Tottenham get Europe in some capacity, he thinks a trophy can be won, or because he clearly believes in Conte. But Conte will keep it moving. You know, Conte will tell, as you should, he will tell you everything. If it's his time to move, he will do it. You know, it all depends on the summer. If I was Kane, I'd sit on my hands. But it does feel like Kane's a very emotive figure, and I think Kane will sign a new deal, and that ultimately will be him in it. Kane wants to assess the club's progress and outlook prior to deciding on his future. And given that stance, the Athletic understands Tottenham do not plan to make another approach for now. The Spurs hierarchy and Conte would be delighted to tie down their prized asset. Where's that gone? Their prized asset for a longer period, but on this matter, there is an acceptance that the ball is in Kane's court. At present, therefore, it is a player who will have to make the first move if talks are to start. There's been no recent dialogue, and some conversations, are not anticipated to take place until the summer. Kane's ambition has always been to win trophies at Tottenham, and if he deems this achievable, I thought I was deluded. It is possible that he will commit to them beyond 2024. Also, among his considerations will be what emerges from what bids emerge from elsewhere, and it's unclear whether the likes of City are ready to reignite their interest. Well, Pep told us they tried 4 times for you. He said that chapter's closed. Whether they get Haaland or whatever is another thing, but we'll have to see. So yeah, there's that, people. And obviously, people, again, Kane might go as a free agent, but he'll be 31 by the end of his career, contract at Spurs. Sorry. Man United start process to appoint permanent manager. Although United I'm trying to scroll the way down. Rangnick will be in the position until the end of the season, when the 20-time English champions are set to make a permanent appointment, and the German can take up a 2-year consultancy role. We know that. The Athletic reported last month that the process to install a full-time boss would commence in subsequent weeks, and this is now believed to be underway. A short list of candidates is thought to have been finalized, and efforts are being made to arrange primarily conversations. Various stages will then follow as the Old Trafford club attempt to run a thorough process and procedure, and then we'll get the man in place ahead of the 2022-23 season. As you know, Ten Hag, Pochettino, these guys are considered. Apparently, Roy Hodgson's behind Wilshere's move to Denmark. Allegedly, pardon me, his chance has finally come. Roy Hodgson obviously knows an assistant manager over there called Dave Reddington, from their 4 years as colleagues at Crystal Palace. So yes, who you know, not what you know. Apparently, Brentford owners made a rare visit to watch Eriksen in a training match. What else is there? That seems to be it. Brighton are to reward staff a bonus for their off-field stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. That seems to be the other news, really. MK Dons to get less than the 20% sell-on clause for Dele Alli. So brazy there, really. So we'll have to see what happens in all them regards, really. Sounds interesting, don't it, folks? Let's change that up. Timestamps. No one cares about you lot as much as me. Don't forget, people, we go live at 11 over there on YouTube. I've just put the link in the chat. What else are you lot saying? So yeah, that seems to be all the world of football right now, people. Really, we got there in the end. Don't forget, I'm live at 4:30 to play Football Manager on Twitch as well, people. Pep is on board with Raheem Sterling contract talks with City. Needed, innit? Good morning, DJ and the nation. It's still Man City's title to win, but Liverpool pushed them until the very end. It will be a 3-point gap when Liverpool beat Leeds midweek. Such is football. Leeds might win that, but I don't believe such. And the margins for error could be crazy. I mean, it'll be interesting. I don't care who wins the title or whatnot. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Pep clearly knows the importance because he's played down the title being done at any occasion. And I mean, Jurgen Klopp allegedly said the Leeds clash is Liverpool's most important game. Apparently, Klopp has told his Liverpool players to forget about next Sunday's Carabao Cup final until they dealt with Leeds. So it's a big week for Liverpool. It's a big week. It's 2 cup finals. You beat Leeds, you put pressure on. Obviously, you don't want to lose a cup final in any capacity, and much less to Chelsea. So it is what it is, people. Really, really and truly. Klopp has said, we've never had it before that we are in all 4 competitions. That's absolutely incredible, and we really enjoy that. Long may it continue, because that means we can play a lot of football games. That's what we love. Careful, certain teams that want to aspire to that will then talk about why squad depth isn't crucial. But it's not easy. That's why we changed 7 times against Norwich. You did see Temiskas and these individuals come in. I expect from the boys that they listen when I tell them that next match we play is absolutely the most important game we've ever played. Gassing it a bit. You've played in Champions League finals, but within the context, you can't disagree with him. That's a big bonus for us. We need everybody over the next few months. So to use the bench and to make an impact is really important. This is Jordan Henderson. We put them under some pressure and managed to break the deadlock with the goal and got back into the game. This is about the Norwich game. But in relation to Leeds is a tough opponent. It will be a really intense game. You know how well they play. So we need to be ready for it. Use the whole squad again. I'm sure we'll have fresh legs again for Wednesday. So, yeah, it makes sense. Fair enough, man. We'll have to see what City are saying, people. Pep Guardiola says Man City will need a lot of points to become champions again after Tottenham blew the title race wide open, allegedly. Guardiola is always guarded against complacency. In January or February, no one has won anything, especially in this Premier League. The teams at the bottom won because every team fights for everything. We know it will be difficult. We know it. That's why we have to win games and games. Today happened. We lost the game. We were close to drawing, maybe winning. We will recover this week with good training sessions and prepare for the next game. We have to fight every game, and every game we are going to win is going to be close. I said we need a lot of points to be champions, and this is what we need to do. Gundogan said it's a wake-up call. He said, we know there's still a long way to go and this season is still long. Maybe this is a good sign for us that nothing is given and we need to earn every single 3 points. We'll try to recover and be ready for the next game. So the Premier League's heating up, man. The Farmers League, the English Premier Farmers League is heating up again, man. It's heating up again. And obviously, Rangnick said the Leeds win was the best way to respond to dressing room stories. I'm not sure the two are correlated, but that's what Rangnick said, innit? So, yeah, it is what it is, where he's concerned. You're doing watch-alongs for the Champions League. Yeah, Tuesday, it's Chelsea versus Lille. Wednesday, I don't know if I'm going to do that on Twitch or YouTube yet. Probably YouTube. You got to be fair. So, yeah, that will be that. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, watch-alongs. So, yeah, man, what else is going on in the world of football? Should we look at some transfer news? You know me, I love the transfer news. It doesn't matter what time period. I do love the transfer news. So yeah, let's put that in because it allows me to dream. I know Arsenal have been linked with Fabian Ruiz, and I would love that, but whether that actually happens are two very different things, people. What should we go on? Let's. Oh. And Juventus, dropped points against Torino, which can't ever be good. Let's start with BBC. Pause. Arsenal are still interested in Alberto Morata. We'll talk about that. Pep Guardiola wants the club to extend the Hector Herrera could be going to Houston Dynamo. Luis Vasquez wants to leave Real Madrid so he can make Spain's World Cup squad. Real Madrid will focus on strengthening their attack in the summer rather than pursuing a squad overhaul. Memphis Depay is drawing interest from Juventus, AC, and Inter Milan. Everton could try to sign Borja. Right, they could try to sign Borja, Billy Gilmore, or Gallagher in the summer. Obviously, the bulk of that is because who is their manager now? Frank Lampard. As you know, the Baller's contract is running all the way down, but they're a contract extension that was agreed in October. If he gives up a large amount of commission, if his agent gives up a large amount of commission. I mean, it depends, but I wouldn't want to give up my Spurs are not planning to offer Kane a new contract at this moment in time. Villa have made Joe Gomez their top target, and I mean that would be. We spoke about him to Villa. That would be a great signing for him. He'll be their best defender. I'm sorry. He can go with Aston Villa's defenders. Luka Dean, good signing. Martinez, good signing. I do think you could move with Matty Cash. Centre halves are not good enough. Tyrone Mings is a headache. Konza is all right, but he's just not levels. Courtney House, Callum Chambers, they're all shit. If I'm honest with you, Joe Gomez might not be the Joe Gomez he used to be. His stock might be on the floor, but you never know what consistent game time and confidence and a point to prove could do. For Joe Gomez, with Konate getting better and better, and Van Dijk not going anywhere anytime soon, and Matip doing all right, you're firmly at the bottom. Now, clearly, Klopp knows he's got ability, but it is what it is, people. Barcelona eye Grilmondo as an alternative to obviously Gaia at left back. Liverpool are seriously interested in Gerard Bowen, and he would be a good addition. But then you just signed Dyer. Surely one attacker would have to leave for all of that. Callejon is wanted by Espanyol and Granada. Bernardo Silva dreams of Real Madrid move. Harbours a dream to one day play for Real Madrid. Didn't we see last season, people, that he wanted to go Barcelona? Still under contract until 2025. And you know what? Real Madrid, bring him to the club. James Rodriguez suggests Benitez forced him out. I would have loved to have been at Everton for much longer. It's a spectacular club. The fans are incredible, but I ran into a coach who didn't count on me. I wanted to be there. Unfortunately, the coach didn't count on me. But boy, Rafa Benitez is known to do brazy stuff, man. When he tried to sell his fellow countryman Jabi Alonso to bring in Gareth Barry. AC Milan are targeting Berardi. As you know, the Baller's agent allegedly is holding back Juventus's contract extension. Don't know if that's true. Scott Brown has applied to take over at St. Mirren. Jules Akonde has allegedly rejected Barcelona to join Chelsea. Whether that's true or not is another thing. But Seems like that's all there is where the transfer window and whatnot is concerned, people. Which is a bit of an underkill, but nonetheless, it is what it is, man. I see Bowen at Liverpool being Jota 2.0. Don't understand why people think that the Premier League is a farmers' league. It's the best league in the world. Every week is difficult due to the bottom team's desire to be organised defensively and hitting the count. It's got the most mistakes as well, really. I'll never forgive Benitez for that. That's why Alonso left. Bugging out, man. Rafa Benitez is a great gaffer, but some bewildering talent ID at times, man. When Atletico beat Man United, what will Ralph Rangnick say about the dressing room then? Don't know. I think Chelsea may get surprised by Leo. I wish I shared your optimism. I don't, but everybody that's in the Champions League's there on merit. And obviously, that slide Jonathan David watch, you know, Fabian Ruiz watch was amazing. I would say I preferred Ruben Neves' performances over Telemans in the last game we watched. So, yeah, man. It is what it is, man. Love for everyone who's followed in the last piece as well. And don't forget Champions League watch-alongs, boy. We're doing, I'd say Chelsea, Leo, man. Villarreal, Juventus. That's. In fact, I should put it down to a vote. We could change it, but I just think Villarreal, Juventus is going to be boring as fuck, man. You know, it could be good because you've got Vlahovic watch, you know, and that. But and the fact that Juventus aren't doing the best, so there could be controversy. And to be fair, Villarreal have given us entertainment in the Europa League final. In the group stages of the Champions, was it in the Champions League this season against United? I'm sure they were in the same group, man. But I just look at it, I see Allegri, I see Una Emery, and I just see myself going. No, I thought that was the lesser evil. At least with Chelsea, it's gonna be uninspiring. It's gonna be nothing football, but at least there'll be some entertainment, really and truly. If nothing more, Lukaku chasing his first touch, and like you said, maybe Leo will pull off a shocker. I really should put it down to a vote. Nothing's decided yet, but definitely Twitch. What kickoff on the Champions League is 8 p.m. So Twitch tomorrow, 7 p.m. UK time. There will be some watch along in it. Wednesday, probably we'll do it on YouTube, same time, but just on YouTube. Thursday, same goes with that. You know, we're playing at 7:45, so we'll be live at 6:45 or something like that to watch, obviously, Arsenal versus Wolves. Don't think there's football on Friday, but we go again on whatever's on Saturday, man. So, yeah, Wednesday, I haven't decided. That will go down to a vote. I don't know if I'm doing Atletico Madrid or Manchester United or Benfica Riots. We probably will just watch Manchester United. Boy, Villarreal versus Juventus and then Atletico Manchester United. I mean, UEFA just saved anti-football until this week, innit? Really. Let all the ballers play last week, and now this. Brazy. Not too sure it's inspiring, although I would take being in the champs then, not in it in any capacity, which Arsenal aren't. So, yeah, it is what it is. But on that, though, man, I got to go prepare for the 11:30 stream, people. Like I said, I'm going to be live at 11:30. 11:30 on YouTube, 4:30 playing Football Manager. I don't know if I don't want to continue with that Charlton save at this moment in time. I might just run away to Arsenal, but I'm going to be here, people. One love to the 3 people, 4 including myself, who have hit the like button. On that, though, yeah, man, we've reviewed the Premier League. Tomorrow, I'm going to be back at 10 a.m. as well, same time where we'll talk about any talking points that arrive, and we'll probably focus a bit more on the Champions and Europa Leagues and things like that. But for now, you know, little more, my guy, he's basically said it, man. It is what it is. For now, I'm just going to leave you lot. It's been a great weekend of football, depending on what team you support. Win, lose, or draw, it's always fantastic to be with you lot. It's Monday. Goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, aspirations. Make sure you lot attack that aggressively. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. But for now, people, DG, I hate to say it, but I'm out, man. It upsets me when I have to leave you lot, but I've got to, man. The good thing is I'm live again it's 10 past now, so 21 minutes. Well, 9 past, but you get the point.
You always use that active red line defending. I think it's like